Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Pancake Talks. This humble space we have to let a little bit more about the builders in the ecosystem, no matter what they are building, how they are making synergy with us. There is a space. It's really nice to talk with all of them and also to bring you these insightful chats also. Um, Today it's an special day. It's like the second or the third. I think it's the second time we bring this topic to the table. Quite a tough topic sometimes to talk about if you're not too technical or if you don't know about this, but it's about security. And I think it's complex and also crucial because if you're not aware, we have just launched with the help of a cross protocol, cross-chain swaps. For the user perspective, it's super simple. You can navigate through BNB chain, Arbitrum, Base, and there is another chain really soon with just one click, with moving your assets here and there. But behind the scenes, a lot of things happens. To be completely honest, and that's why we are here today. And I mean, it's seamless. It's no bridge need, no sex, just a smooth cross chain swaps. But as I said, behind this system, it there was two main actors to make this super simple and most of it secure. And I would like to give you the warm welcome to Burrasec and Pashov, the two auditors behind Crosschain Swaps. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
GM, doing great. How are you?
Hello from my side. Glad to be here.
Perfect, thank you. Just before we start with the more deep questions, could you give us a quick introduction of yourself and the audit firm you represent? I don't know who wants to go first, but feel free to take the mic, guys.
So I can take the stage first. First of all, thanks for inviting me to this AMA. I'm Josip, and I'm the founder of Bura Security. We're a Web3 security firm that focuses on interoperability protocols and cross-chain integrations. I've been a software developer for the past 8 years, and I've been working in the security, Web3 security space for the past 3 years. As an independent security researcher, I had a chance to work with a lot of well-known projects like Layer Zero. I was part of their V2 security review. Then I worked on the security review of Tether and their expansion to kind of a cross-chain. I also worked with Yuga Labs and their cross-chain NFTs and a bunch of other projects. So being an independent security researcher, I had a lot of opportunities to audit these types of projects, like which have some cross-chain component. And I kept seeing issues with integrations, since developers a lot of time make certain assumptions on these external systems. And also in a lot of cases, there are some like infrastructural components involved. So it's hard to kind of know all the edge cases. And that's kind of the reason why I started Bura Security, and our focus is on this kind of interop space. So happy to discuss security with you today.
Nice, thank you a lot. Nice story to be honest. I always think that people working, and you can tell me this, people working in security, it's like they need to calm their anxiety of breaking things, and that's why they start running this kind of stuff. But it's just my point of view. You can let me know later. And what about you, Pasho?
Yes, hello again, guys. So yes, I'm Pashov. I'm basically part of the Web3 security community, running the Pashov Audit Group company, which is now a leading security company. We have worked with some of the biggest projects in the space, like Lido, with Aave, Uniswap, Ethereum, now PancakeSwap as well, which is a great project now that is still building after a lot of years and still going very strong and even growing, which we respect a lot. So yeah, we have protected lots of billions on chain just by auditing Aave. You can say you have protected like 40 billions or so, and now with PancakeSwap it is more billions. So we are doing very important job here in the security space, and we are very happy to be partnering with such a great team in the face of PancakeSwap.
Thanks for the kind words. Okay. I think we're gonna start. Uh, Try to avoid getting ultra technical. I know for you it's like super simple to go to that point, but for me and also the people out there, it might get a little bit difficult. But from your perspective, what do you think are the critical risks we can say, or where are the possible problems, if we want to put it in that way, when swapping assets cross chain compared to, I don't know, regular same chain, if we can say like that, swaps?
Yeah, I can take this one. So if you're looking at same chain swaps, the most important parameters are like slippage that the user specifies, also like deadline parameter, which dictates how far in the future his transaction is still executable, and possibly depending on the interface of the DEX, you might have some minimum output amounts. With same chain swaps, you're looking at your transactions in most cases being executed like instantly. As soon as you submit the transaction, it's being executed on that chain. With cross chain, it's a bit different. So you need to submit a transaction on chain A, then someone needs to, on your behalf, submit this transaction on chain B, which bridges some tokens, or he drops some tokens into some contract, and then a swap is being executed. So there is this concept of delay with cross-chain swaps. So this is perhaps the biggest risk there is in terms of cross-chain swaps. And although the impact is somewhat limited, if we're talking about PancakeSwap and your kind of concrete implementation of cross-chain swaps, since in case these parameters get outdated and the destination swap fails, the user will just receive the tokens that were actually bridged, so then he can execute the swap himself. So it will affect his user experience. I also want to add that Across, due to its intent architecture, is really fast. So Across has this decoupled logic where verification and making sure everything is correct in the system happens afterwards. And the tokens that get delivered to your address on the destination chain, that happens like within literally seconds. So it's very convenient from a user perspective. If you contrast that to more traditional messaging protocols like layer 0, for instance, or a few others, then there is a bigger delay in the delivery of these messages. It can take up to a minute or 5 or more minutes, since the prerequisite for delivering the destination transaction is verifying everything is correct. So from this perspective, I would say with PancakeSwap, the some kind of risks that would affect user usability are minimal, since Across is pretty good in this.
Yeah, and on my side, I would add a little bit of stuff that basically, when it comes to cross-chain swaps versus same-chain swaps, just by swapping on chain, there are like a ton of vulnerabilities, a ton of problems that can happen, which should be handled by every platform. But when it gets not just into swaps, but into cross chain swaps, it gets much more complex. And there are so many new attack vectors that developers should be considering. There is like bridge risk, there is like replay attacks, latency and finality on the other chain, so many things. So this is very important that when you are building cross-chain protocols, especially swaps, you need to have great security partners.
Great, I like it. Like we have the good cop and the bad cop. Thank you both for your answers. Uh, the nice part, or at least the thing I like the most, being kind of in the middle between the community and the devs, it's how easy it is for the users, and maybe how difficult for you as audit partners in these things. There are, as you said, Pashov, a lot of vector attacks. I was reading a little bit for the for this AMA, and it's like feels super easy, but behind the scenes there are a lot going on that can go wrong. So thanks both of you for participating in the launch of the cross-chain swaps at PancakeSwap. I think it's one of the most important launch for us this year, since simplifies the user experience 90%. And talking about the audit itself, could you tell me a little bit, no need to go super deep, on which part of the cross chain did you focus during the audit? If you check it from when the swap starts until the user gets their funds in other chain, if you just check one part of it, I don't know. I Please give me some light about it.
So on our audit with the Pashov audit group audit that we did for you, and the scope that we audited basically was the whole cross-chain architecture. So we went through everything, meaning the swaps, the bridge integration, and the cross-chain execution. You're using, as it was said already, a cross bridge in the architecture. So we checked this integration, the swaps, the execution, and everything. And the code base was quite well done. So we are very happy with the work of the developers here.
Yeah, from our side as well, our main focus was on pancake swaps contracts and this integrational part with the cross. We spent quite a lot of time looking at cross and all of its assumptions, like how do these relayers earn money by bridging tokens to another chain? What's their spread? How are their fees structured? So we also found like one issue there in your most complex path when you're kind of on origin chain, where you're first kind of swapping, then bridging, then also swapping on the other chain. So yeah, that was kind of the focus on our part.
Perfect. And talking a little bit about what user sees when does a cross-chain swap. Um, if something go wrong, I mean, what kind? I don't know. If a transaction falls or gets stuck in the middle of the process, are there any protections, or I don't know, something you can tell me what happened in those scenarios? Since I think you check basically everything that could happen in the middle of a cross-chain swap.
Yeah, so your system and also Cross have several protections in place, have kind of several mechanisms to handle refunds or failed transactions. The first maybe the first case would be what if the destination swap fails? So as I already mentioned, if the destination swap fails, the tokens that were actually bridged will be just refunded to an address that the user has specified on the origin chain. So that case is handled. Then there's maybe like more subtle ways if the input data to the on the origin chain, so these like the expected output amount for the swap and so on, if this kind of gets outdated or the transaction is pending for quite some time, the user has the option to go to a cross contract and kind of adjust it manually, send the transaction. But even if he doesn't do this, he will get refunded as this intent expires, which is usually in 2 to 3 hours. Although this is really an edge case, this shouldn't occur when in normal circumstances. So in normal functioning, you're going to probably have a large majority of transactions passing through. So there are kind of protections in place, so you can intervene, or you're just going to get refunded, so you don't get any fund loss. That's important. And also the system accepts the system accepts like user parameters, so you can specify whatever address you want, to be the refund recipient and depositor and so on. So this is also very conveniently done to enable good user experience and for it to be secure.
Great. Actually, I'm surprised to know you have everything already thought about. I mean, there are edge cases, but being with the community, we see some edge cases every day in all the things. If a thing can be broken, people is going to break it no matter what, and no matter if they are not even trying to do it. So thank you. It seems that it's built with the idea of the user experience at first place, which I admire. So thank you guys again. And I will to maintain the idea of talking about the UI, the UX simplicity versus the audit complexity. So we know the user experience is super smooth, just one click. But from your point of view, uh, does that simplicity, and if you don't get my question, I can rephrase it, but does that simplicity make your job even harder when when it comes to tracking the flows or validating logic, for example? It's the same for you, that it's super easy on the screen but really complex behind the scenes, or it's mostly the same?
Yeah, I would say that it's always better to be simple, both from the front end, from the back end, and from the smart contracts. Uh, from a user standpoint, obviously, it's better to be simple and to be one click. And from an auditor standpoint, when it's simpler, when code is simpler, it's an easier audit. It's easier to find potential issues faster, and also the attack surface is smaller, so we can do a better job when you do it in a simple way. So we appreciate this.
For you is the same in Burrasec?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? It seems we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Yeah. Maybe try to rejoin if you want to. While we continue, we have a more question. Oh, I'm talking and he's not. Uh, he's not hearing me. You can hear me, Pashov, right?
Yes, my connection is good here.
Okay. While we wait, uh, I can go with the next question. It's actually a question I hope he can answer me also, but without revealing, I mean, anything confidential. Were there meaningful changes or improvements you recommended to the PancakeSwap team during the audit process?
Yeah, so since I don't think the audit reports are public as of yet, uh, they will be published soon maybe. But yeah, we did add a few suggestions to the team. We had one uh, more important suggestion that was related to some logic in bridging, but the team fixed it very well, very fast, and it was an easy fix. And yes, we had a few more suggestions which were not that high of a priority ones, but everything was fixed very fast and very well, so it's all good.
Perfect. Thanks, Pashov. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Some audio issues on my side. So I left off when we were discussing the simplicity of the system. So I'll guess I'll respond on that one. When we were auditing this, we kind of had a Cross's architecture in mind, since your system is just kind of built on top of a Cross, and the Cross has this simplicity baked into them. So they kind of separated the part of bridging, which is quite simple, the pure act of getting your tokens to a certain address on the destination chain, and this whole verification part, which is kind of totally separated, and this is backed by this optimistic oracle, which they use, which is also used by Polymarket and a bunch of other firms. So this is a very battle tested solution, and it didn't have any hacks, it didn't have any issues to date. So yeah, I mean, we kind of, although the system is simple, there are some edge cases that can occur, especially to the refunds and speeding up these transactions and so on. So we did cover those cases, just to make sure everything is kind of tight.
Perfect. And the other question I was asking and talking with Pashov was like, without revealing, I mean, anything confidential before the audit is posted, if there were any meaningful changes or improvements you have recommended the PancakeSwap team during the process.
Yeah, so there was one issue that we felt needed to be definitely fixed, which was so during this swap process on the origin chain, let's say you have some cake in your wallet, you want to swap it for USDC, and then you want to bridge this USDC to another chain. So if there is like swap and then bridge actions, the system wasn't using the actual kind of amount after the swap, but it relied on the let's say worst case scenario, which wouldn't give the benefit of let's say positive slippage to the user, or just in general any kind of case of price that is better than the worst execution price. So we came across this issue, and it was fixed by the team, and they tested everything and kind of fixed it promptly. So should be good on that side.
Perfect. You both said something really similar on that, so I'm glad about the team we have at PancakeSwap fixing these things and in the relationships with you. And I want to go out a little bit from Crosschain as a topic. And I would like to, the last two questions that I have before we wrap up, just to ask your opinion, more like in a broader aspect. And I would like to know what advice, I don't know, would you give to new teams, to new audit teams, or maybe independent researchers who are just entering the security space? What would you tell them, since you are pretty much more consolidated right now?
I can give some quick advice. Basically, for the complete beginners, I would say just to make sure you focus really deep. You put in a ton of hours, focused hours, very important. Improve daily, absolutely every day. Try to put as many hours as possible. Be focused, improve, read blog posts, be curious, follow your curiosity. This is great for beginners, and for more advanced people, maybe try to focus on some type of a protocol. Try to focus on dexes or on cross-chain integrations or on lending protocols. This can be a great strategy. And just make sure that you're a great auditor, and this happens with a lot of hard work. This is how we grew Pashov Audit Group. This is how now we are working with over 40 auditors who have been champions in security contests, in bug bounties, in CTFs. So all of them have been doing pretty much the same, which is just daily improvements and a lot of focused hours working on hunting vulnerabilities and researching other already found vulnerabilities in other protocols.
So from my side, I would advise audit teams and security researchers to kind of narrow down their focus and just try to carve out a niche for them. Our industry is still young, but it has been running for quite a few years, and it has matured in a way. So there are like clear ecosystems, there are clear business domains. Also, some languages are quite mature. Some ecosystems are just popping up. So as a starting point, I would suggest anyone to just explore the ecosystem, try out things, try out the apps, check out everything, but then kind of narrow down their focus and just excel at one thing, and this will definitely give you the edge then to perhaps expand to more domains. So that's my suggestion. Another suggestion is also to maybe look past Solidity and Rust, and maybe check some of these other ecosystems that are quite attractive and kind of growing really fast, and not a lot of people are active in them. So that would be my piece of advice.
Thank you. Thank you for both for your advices. I hope it's everyone with a seek of shining at the security space pay attention and follow your suggestions. And just to wrap up, and as a final question, I want to first thank you both for joining us today. I would like to know from where you sit today in your role, what trends are you seeing in DeFi security? I mean, that excites you or concerns you about the direction the space is taking?
I can go first on this as well. Basically, I can say that um, I'm noticing personally, having been in the space for multiple years now, I'm noticing that people are taking security much more seriously. Every protocol is getting security audits, trying to find the best auditors who not only have a strong brand but actually do a great job doing the actual audits, which is very important, unlike some companies. And just DeFi protocols take security seriously. This is the most important thing. Also, there are many new DeFi trends right now, so many new chains, lots of builders. This is great. And I see all of them know that a project should be audited. developers are still not great as security researchers themselves, so they miss bugs. And when you get an audit, you should be well protected in most cases. So yeah, basically, I'm excited about seeing everybody agreeing that security audits are mandatory and doing more of them. This is great. It's great that PancakeSwap did for this small in size code base. They put in the effort to find two great teams to work with, not just one, but two. So they have multi-layered security. So we respect this approach and hope many other DeFi projects do this approach.
So I've also been in the industry for quite a few years, and what I can say is that everything is becoming more complex. So if you look at projects that were launching even in 2021, 2022, they were like really simpler with a lot less integrations. Most projects were just deploying on a single chain. But this has changed. The ecosystem has matured. It's becoming clearer that there will be a lot of different ecosystems which will be kind of connected with these interoperability solutions. So in terms of security, it's also harder to secure your protocol, and you really need to engage with security auditors early in your development process to kind of guide you to everything, especially if you're building something really complex. As Pashov said, the cross-chain swaps were pretty straightforward, a smaller project, very well written from a great development team. But yeah, it's great you still decide to kind of engage with two different security companies to really strengthen it and to be sure that no issues arise. So yeah, I'm just seeing a lot more complexity, and I hope other projects also kind of take security seriously the way PancakeSwap does, and really hope to see less hacks in the future. To be honest.
Yeah, I think we all hope that, and not only from the security standpoint. So thank you both again for the transparency and taking the time to answer all the questions, even the ones that ask you for your personal opinion. Also, I think you both share with me really valuable insights, and yeah, I think it's always powerful to go beyond the marketing and talk about what real security looks like behind the scenes. And I will get yourself free, guys. In case you want to say anything before we wrap up, I think it's the moment. I just have many thanks for you to come into the space today. So feel free to say hi, to say bye before we wrap up.
Yeah, I can start. Just again, Chef Fran and all the PancakeSwap team, thanks for kind of inviting me to this AMA. Also, thanks for working on the cross-chain swaps audit. It was really a smooth process. And I'll just want to say finally, since my company specializes in cross-chain audits and interoperability protocols, we're here. You know, if you're building or some other projects are building in the future, feel free to contact us, and yeah, we'll be happy to work together.
Yeah, on my side, I'm very happy to be here as well. Thanks a lot for the invite. I wish really everybody that is listening to this AMA to stay safe because security is a little bit. Crypto and Web3 is a little bit of a dark forest. Stay safe. Hackers are very smart, but white hats are very motivated as of late and working very hard. So we are protecting you guys. hope PancakeSwap is fully secure now after our 2 audits, and keep doing a great job that you have been doing so far. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys. I also think that you are super, even completely necessary, because the future is interoperable and multi-chain. So we need you more than what maybe some people in the space don't even realize. So, okay, for everyone watching, it's not it's not a repetition to say that cross-chain swaps are now live, and that's the reason why we are all here and we had this AMA. And you can try now fast, trustless, and secure, as you might hear in this space, swaps across different chains with just one click. I also want to say that this AMA will be is recorded, and you can watch it in our YouTube channel or even in Twitter. Maybe in Twitter it's a little bit difficult because it's going to be buried by other tweets, but it's going to be in our AMA playlist on YouTube. Of course, feel free to follow Burrasec and Pashov for sure in their social media. Also, if you have any questions, you can come up to our community chat to let us know, and we will answer for sure super quick. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you next time. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.